Welcome to Angelo's Tennis, and in this video I'm talking about speed and the proper way to increase speed in tennis. And I'm talking about, specifically we're going to focus on the racket head speed. And this is the method. This is the method that someone like Roger Federer would use. And the reason why I bring up his name specifically is because this is going to create that effortless look where it looks like it's effortless, but you're actually very, very fast. And let's go over a few of these exercises. We have the swing volley where someone feeds, usually a hand feed, or it could be off the racket, doesn't matter, and the player is just hitting repetitive swing volleys. And that could be a way to increase your racket head speed. It could be a coach is feeding balls that are all over the court very slow, and players running around backhands and hitting forehands with fast racket head speed. All of these exercises are ways to increase your racket head speed, more specifically for a beginner intermediate player or someone who's learning the concept of racket head speed. So I'm going to display a few different videos of a professional player working the racket head speed. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because this is not what, I want to start with this, that this is not what I'm referring to. And I don't care who this guy is. I don't care who he plays for, what coach he has, what his ranking is. I don't care. This is not for a player of his level. Now, I'm not really making any judgments. I'm just using him as an example. So what a player who already has racket head speed, someone at his level, or again, just someone who already has the concept of racket head speed, wants to do in order to increase their speed is to do what he's doing. You could take any one of those exercises. Let's just take the one where the coach is playing off of a racket, a feed, and he's hitting slower balls that the player runs around the backhand and plays forehands. Okay, not too difficult on the player, just a couple steps, and then plays the ball somewhere. Let's take that as an example. Before the player goes through that exercise, what the player is going to do is do a side exercise that focuses on the speed. And in this case, we're going to use the upper body. So what a player might do is they might do a series. And I'm really just making this up. You can make these things up too. Or we can go through all the possibilities. But a player can, let's say the player does a series of 8 to 10 reps of push-ups, quick push-ups, we could say short push-ups, just shorties, real fast as the player can do it, 8 to 10 reps, and 2 to 3 sets. Okay, so the player's going to do that. Or let me back up. The player's going to do 8 to 10 reps, and then as soon as they're done with those 8 to 10 reps, that's the beginning of one set. The coach is going to start feeding that exercise, and the player is going to go through and is going to accelerate the racket with racket head speed. It's not really that important that the player is hitting as hard as they can. The player's only going to focus on racket head speed. So let me repeat that. 8 to 10 reps of the shorty push-ups as fast as you can. Player's going to get up and he's going to accelerate, let's say 8 to 10 more reps of this forehand off a feed. First set, done. Take a rest. 2 to 3 minute rest. 3 to 4 minute rest, something like that. And then the player's going to do 8 to 10 more push-ups in the way that I described, and then 8 to 10 more forehands. And they're going to do that for, say, anywhere between 2 and 5 sets. That is the exercise right there. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to increase the speed in a way that the player is not confused, okay? We're not going out there and just hitting a ton of racket head speed swing volleys. You know, if we take the video that I use, just assume that he's doing that. That's his practice, the whole practice. That isn't what this is. And the reason why it's different is because you don't want the player to think that this is how they're supposed to hit the ball. Really, it's an exercise, as I said, to internally increase the speed so that when the player goes back out to play, let's say the player goes back out and they're warming up and they're just hitting with their playing partner, they're practicing patterns, they are allowing the speed to come out naturally. It's in there. They're changing the, what they're doing is they're changing their muscles. They're changing the speed strength that they have so that it's readily available. Keywords, readily available. It's not that they do it all the time. It's readily available so that they can strike with the speed that they need to strike with at the right time that they need to strike. Now, with that being said, to take this a step further, you may do that if you're not that serious, or if you're, let's say, you kind of in between. You're just learning this. You might do what I described without a target or a big general target. But then when you get real good, you've been doing this for a while, you're gonna take the example I gave, and the coach is feeding balls, or the other players is feeding balls to the player so they can run around and just play the fast forehand with the racket head speed. Now it's going to be directly targeted to a very specific target. And that's going to be the absolute ideal. So you're going to have everything included to the specific target. The smaller, the better. Small might be, say, 4 feet by 4 feet, maybe 6 feet by 6 feet. Depends on the player. Start big, work your way to a smaller target. If you can't ever get to a really small target, that's fine. That's where you're at. You don't necessarily need to have this tiny little target in order to win at any level in tennis. So you find what works for you, and you stick with that, because the important part is that you're focused on hitting a target, and you're working on becoming more accurate. Let's take another example. Let's say you're doing the same exercise, but this time instead of the shorty push-ups, you're going to grab a baseball bat or a medicine ball, either one. Let's say just take the baseball bat, and you're going to swing two-handed forehands or one-handed forehand, doesn't matter, whatever, using this weighted tool, and you're going to do 8 to 10 reps, and then you're going to go and play your forehand, just as it was described. Or you could do any of the exercises that the pro displayed in the video. Really, I like the one that I'm giving because of the fact that it's coming off the racket from the other side, and that you can use a target just like it really would feel like a match. It's close to what it would feel like in a match. That's why I would prefer that. Like I said, you could use something that's weighted like a baseball bat, or the baseball bat might not even be heavy enough. It just has to have a little bit of weight, like a 10-pound medicine ball, or you're doing the medicine ball throws, something like that. And that's called the delay effect phenomenon. And that's really what we're doing here, is this delay effect phenomenon. Like I said, it works internally so that when you play, you have the resources in your body to fire when available. And it's different from just going out there and hitting really, really hard. Because part of the advantages is that you don't have to go out there and hit hard all the time. You can just be like I use Roger Federer as an example. You see him in warm-ups, and he's out there playing his practices. He's very smooth, very effortless, because this is how it works. Okay? This is how it works. It's very simple. This is the science of it. And you may be one of these guys that I'm displaying on the video here, and you don't want to do that. It's not for you. Fine. I don't really care. This is the science of it. This is how it works. You can do whatever works for you. And if that works for you, great. But you're not following the science. This is the science of it.